And this little guy was able to come off completely of medication that he was on. By the end of the week, this mom said, "I feel like I have my baby back."
Welcome. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for coming. I'm really excited to have you here. So please introduce yourself. You are?
My name is Nicole, and I am the owner of Mother Nurture Consulting. I'm a lactation consultant, a postpartum doula, and a mental health certified provider.
So tell me, what does that mean in layman's terms?
Yeah.
To somebody who's never used your services.
Yeah, so basically that means that anything a new mom might need with help with when it comes to bringing a new baby into the world, I can provide it. So I do prenatal education and support, as well as support in that postpartum period, that really vulnerable time for new families.
Postpartum really is a vulnerable time. I see it so much with moms. So how do you come alongside them and support them? What does that look like for a new mom?
It can look so many different ways. You know, all families are so different. For a lot of people, that looks like just someone to maybe come in those first couple of weeks, teach them, how to care for this new little person, maybe helping with some household, duties. And that would be kind of what we would consider to be doula support. So a postpartum doula would provide those types of supports in the home. For other families, it looks like coming to my office and getting support that might be of a more clinical nature. So whether it's help with getting this little baby to feed properly, or dealing with things like reflux or infant sleep. I can really come alongside them in a variety of ways.
That's amazing. So many moms do need that support. I see feeding being an issue a lot of times with new babies. So how do you coach them and help them?
So a lot of the education around feeding babies actually starts prenatally. And I always recommend that families do at least one prenatal session for feeding their baby. And there's a lot of classes and things now that families, like to participate in, but I really like the one-to-one session where we can actually talk about what that family's goals are, what their lifestyle is like, what their priorities are, and anything that they might be worried about or anxious about. And we can debrief about those things before the baby even gets here. And then once the baby gets here, basically they would have my number on speed dial, which is such a just reassuring feeling for families. I always say most things for a baby you can get with 2-day delivery on Amazon, but those people that come alongside you and support you and coach and listen to those fears and worries that you have, those people you really want to line up prenatally.
So with the challenges surrounding the feedings, how do you help them in that area? Like, what do you see that is the most common they face? And then how are you overcoming that with them?
So some of the more common things that we see, especially, new moms, first-time moms dealing with, is pain when they're trying to learn how to feed this little baby. And so with just some basic guidance and some sort of tried and true techniques, we can usually overcome a lot of those issues as long as we get to them early enough. And so early intervention really is key when it comes to things like pain or low milk production, which is another common concern that families have. So usually it consists of doing just a full assessment of that baby, assessing how they're latching, assessing mom's milk production and anatomy, and then assessing that dyad together and how they're really functioning, and figuring out where we need to put in, some more support and sort of scaffold that support so that mom can feel confident.
Mental health goes a lot with feeding baby and caring for the baby, and sometimes that could play a toll on the mom. So how do you support moms with mental health?
Yeah, mental health is so important, and thank goodness we have come a long way in really reducing the stigma in talking about mental health. We still have a long way to go, especially when it comes to supporting mothers in postpartum. It's a very vulnerable time. we know that it is a time when hormones are really wreaking havoc on that mother. And so helping her get the types of, like I said, in-home type doula support that she needs, and then also being able to provide any sort of specific targeted mental health support if she's having any difficulty processing, for example, her birth or that feeding journey itself, really being able to use a holistic and a trauma-informed approach when we're talking about those things.
I love your passion surrounding this. What led you to this?
What led me to want to do this work is, I think, probably what leads a lot of us to doing this type of work, my own experience. When I first became a mom, I had to struggle, and it was a trial by fire. And so just feeling really called to be that support that I didn't have, and be able to come alongside moms in the way that I wish that someone had been there for me and that moms just so deserve.
And we always have one story that just touches our heart of a client we've serviced that just stands out among the others. So tell me one that really just stands out from your experience helping.
Yeah. It would be hard to pick just one, but I will. I actually recently had a client who came to me who had been really, really struggling with her baby, been having a lot of feeding issues, a lot of reflux and discomfort, and she told me that she was feeling really ashamed because she wasn't enjoying her baby. And we were able, in a matter of about 2 or 3 sessions, to get to the root cause of what was going on. And this little guy was able to come off completely of medication that he was on for his reflux. We were able to identify a tongue tie for this little guy. And by the end of the week, this mom said, "I feel like I have my baby back."
That's
and
amazing.
It was really special.
Oh, that's really awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nicole, for coming today. If somebody needs to get in touch with you, what are the best ways to reach you?
The best way is to go to my website, and you can either Google me at Mother Nurture. My website is Mother Nurture Lactation Services, it's a mouthful, .com. And my office is located here in Melbourne, so very easy to find me. But the best way is just to reach out through that website.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.